Good evening. Good evening, everyone that's joining us via Zoom and people that are here with us in person at the Roselle Fan Recreation Center in the city of Atlanta. We want to say welcome to this meeting. Thank you for taking time out of this gorgeous evening to join us to learn about this amazing project that will bring a lot of enhancements and improvement in transportation along the Cleveland Avenue and Metropolitan Parkway corridor. I am Erica Pines, and I am joined by
Jackie Colgan. It's nice to meet you.
And I will be moderating tonight. Jackie is our project manager, and she will be walking you through the project. And tonight we also have special guests in the audience. Because this project touches two major municipalities, the city of East Point and the city of Atlanta, we just want to bring greetings first from the mayor of East Point, Mayor Ingraham. Come here. You go now.
So good evening, and I am excited to be here to hear more about this amazing project that is going to absolutely be impactful in the city of East Point. I often say there's no point like East Point, and I can firmly and confidently say that because of amazing partnerships with like MARTA and the work that is happening as we are transforming and revitalizing our downtown area. This will connect to our downtown in the Cleveland Avenue, Main Street connection area, and then go down Cleveland Avenue past Wellstar and other partners that we have on Cleveland Avenue as we look to lift up the area and really, create an environment for investment and create an environment, most importantly, where people can get to where they need to go. Because I always say, as the interim CEO, Kylie says, MARTA's coming to get you. And so this is going to ensure that MARTA's coming quicker. So there'll be more frequent stops, there'll be more accessibility, and also enhancements and improvements in this area that I think will be catalytic for development along this corridor, as well as ways to partner and strengthen and leverage our relationships, networks, and resources to help improve safety in the area, as well as accessibility and also technology, infusing technology within the area. So I'm excited about this project and the opportunity and the fact that Jack said, I introduced herself earlier, but she's an amazing East Pointer. She lives in the city of East Point. So we have a deeper connection to this project as well. But thank you all for joining virtually, those in person. This is an opportunity for you to provide input on something that is absolutely going to be impactful. So please continue to tell others about it and make sure you stay connected and continue to lend your voice throughout the project.
Thank you, Mayor, and we're always appreciative of our jurisdictional partners, and we appreciate your leadership and your support on this project and also other amazing things that we're doing in the city of East Point.
Well, thank you.
And next up, we're sitting in his council district. Antonio Lewis, he's the newest member of Atlanta City Council. He came in, I think, probably 3 days on the job. He was at MARTA headquarters, pounding, getting all the information he can. He's double booked tonight, but he made sure to take the time to come by here and greet us. So welcome, Councilmember Lewis.
Hey, how are you? How are you? I would like to welcome you to District 12.
Yes.
Especially sitting in this building that we're in. This building was literally built with me on the mind. I was on the first basketball team ever of this building, the Roselle Fan Recreation Center. So I love this space that we chose.
Perfect. Thank you for helping us secure it.
Yep.
Thank you. You want to just...
Oh, so I want to welcome MARTA to our district because to Cleveland Avenue. I grew up over here riding the 78. So to know that it's going to move a little faster to get us down the street, it's going to get people access, get them to work a little bit faster. I'm excited to see this actually come to fruition. We're always looking for a date. So anytime you get a date, that's a good time.
Yes.
And I got a new saying about our community. A community without hard hats, a community without shovels is a dying community. Mm-hmm. I want to see hard hats and shovels in our community. That means we're growing. So I'm excited to see this actually happen.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. So I'm going to walk everyone through the agenda today. Today we're going to have the welcome and opening remarks. We just had those by our elected officials who represents the project area. And then Jax is going to come on and talk about the project and the project background and the service plan along with the project schedule. What's really important is we are going to take questions at the conclusion of the presentation. If you have a question and you're in person, write those questions down. We will get them and answer them. If you're on the Zoom, we would like you to put your questions in the Q&A section of the Zoom. So if you're on the Zoom and you're not that familiar with it, take a moment now, look, sometimes it's at the bottom of your screen, look for the Q&A section because that's where we will be pulling questions from. We ask that you don't drop questions in the comment section because we have a team that's actively engaging in the Q&A section. So with that being said, also tonight's meeting is about this project, which is the Metropolitan Avenue and Cleveland Avenue ART, Arterial Rapid Transit project. If you have questions for MARTA unrelated to this project, we ask that you send those to customer service. That is very important because we pride ourselves on responses to our customer service inquiries. When you send customer service an email or call them, they log those calls, and we have a time period that we've set upon ourselves to get those questions answered. So if you have a service-related question that's not related to this project, we need to log those questions so that we can get back to you in a timely fashion. Reserve the Q&A for questions related to this project, and we'll give you the customer service email address also at the end of the presentation. Thank you. I just kind of went over the Q&A session. So in person, raise your hand once we get there. Again, if you're online, use the Q&A, not the chat box. And you can also, for questions related to this project, email publichearinginfo@itsmarta.com. That's publichearinginfo@itsmarta.com. And if there are service-related questions not related to this project, if you have some service questions, remember to email custserv, that's CUSTSERV, @itsmarta.com. That's custserv@itsmarta.com. I'm going to walk you through a quick snapshot of the area so that you know the demographics and the conditions that are happening along the Cleveland and Metropolitan area. In this area, vehicle access is about 25%, which means 25% have no vehicle access. The average household income is under $50,000 per year. 35% of the workers in the area commute. And the transit ridership, 25 to 34-year-olds account for 20%, 35 to 64-year-olds account for 46%, and under 25 is about 30%. Over 65 is a smaller bucket of about 4%. Sorry, I have my glasses on. But that's that presbyopia is going to happen to you too. So, and that's the reason why we're giving you these things, because this is important so that you know the community that we're trying to serve and you understand how we hope that this project can not only advance transit and get people where they need to go faster, as the mayor of East Point stated, our interim CEO always says, we're coming to get you, but we want to come get you in a fast manner. We want to get you to where you're going fast. And this project will also have some enhancements along the community because we know that there are areas along these corridors that are a little distressed. So we hope that this project can kick off some of those enhancement projects. And that's about it for that.
Very good, thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate
Go ahead,
it, Erica.
Jax.
So I'm Jax Colgan, work for MARTA. I'm the project manager going to implement the ART program. Let's just talk about what ART stands for. It's Arterial Rapid Transit. We're going to be bringing in a faster, more frequent service to you. We have some upgraded amenities that we are going to share with you tonight. Next slide. So right here, we're showing the transit ridership. On the right-hand side, you can see we're talking about Metropolitan Parkway that goes north to south, and then we're looking at Cleveland Avenue that's going west to east. These two corridors were chosen because they're like very busy. Cleveland is the 5th highest ridership that we have, and Metropolitan is 13th highest. We do have higher ridership at the actual local stops as well. That's what the 22 and 15 mean. So instead of having 1 or 2 people, we've got a lot of people standing there. Next slide. Oh, good. So let's talk about the benefits of what we're bringing to the table. We've got increased service, efficiency, where our buses are going to have some really good routes to be able to take. 15-minute service intervals, that's really huge. We have transit signal priority, where when the bus comes up to the light, they're going to have the light, it's going to turn green. So if you ever hate being behind a MARTA bus, maybe now's the time that you want to stick behind the MARTA bus, because they're going to have priority over the transit signals. We're going to take care of 90% of the riders and save 20% of your time on the bus. Now, this little rapid limited stop service here, I do want to recognize the 2 gray dots in the middle. Those are your local stops. The 2 white circles on the outside are going to be the ART stops. What we're trying to do with this program is take people from the hub to the hub, so that they don't get caught up in the frequent stops and congestion of the local service. Local service is still going to be in place. So people are saying, you know, what's the difference between our local buses and the ART? Like, what's in it for me, right? So we're going to be using the same buses that we do for the local stops. We're going to brand them differently, so that you'll know that this is an ART stop rather than a local bus stop. We have amenities. I'll go over the amenities in just a moment on the fewer slides coming through. The spacing between the local and the ART stops is really what matters here. You can see every 800 to 1,200 feet we have a local stop. What we're proposing with ART is a 1/4 mile to a 1/2 mile between stops. And again, the local is going to stay there, but if you want to get from Kroger to Walmart and you don't want to have to sit in front of stop after stop after stop, you don't have to. That's what this is all about.
That's great.
Frequency. Now, this is the really big implement that's going to change your mind. You're going to want to ride ART. The frequency on a local stop is 30 to 60 minutes. So every 36 minutes, you get picked up. Now we're proposing every 15 minutes, a bus will stop at the ART stop and pick you up. Next slide. All right, so here's the amenities. This is what I really get excited about. So I'm going to start from the left to go to the right. We have an emergency call button that's not been done at any stops ever. It's going to be 24/7 to MARTA Police Department, so you push the button and you'll be able to talk to them. We have the solar panels really working to reduce our carbon footprint and have renewable energy. It's also going to take some time to shorten our construction and get this to you a lot faster. We have the branded stop marker that's going to tell you this is an ART stop. Real-time information for your buses, like similar to what you have in the transit rail stations. You're going to know when your bus is supposed to be there, and you can figure out whether you have to run or you have to walk to get to your bus. We do have an enlarged shelter with additional seating, about 5 feet longer than our normal stop. And that's to take care of the volume, the 2215 that we were talking about earlier. Trash recycle bins, and we're going to install bike racks at some of the locations. We're working through the proposal to see where that ends up. Next slide. Yay. All right, so the real-time arrival, this is so exciting. So our solar panel is going to be powering up this real-time arrival. You can see that it's in black and white. It's kind of like the Kindle notebook when you're reading your book. We chose this because it's black and white and it's the best visibility from distance. So we didn't want to go into color. You have the speaker that's right next to it. There's a button that you can't see in this photo, but you press that button and it will read whatever's on the screen. So that, you know, visually impaired, you don't want to look at the screen, whatever, you can push the button and know when the bus is coming. So this next slide, this is where we are today. We're at Roselle Fan Community Center, and I love this place, by the way. I was really excited to come in. So this is just an implant of a stop and what it would look like. So we do have one planned right across the street here. You can see that we have the diverted bike lane. It's going to go behind the shelter. We have the pedestrian signal where you push the button, white lights are going to flash, cross the street with safety. Then also you have the bike path separator. We do want to keep the people that are walking separated from the bikers. Not that they're crazy, but sometimes they're faster than us walkers. Next slide. So we do have another walkway that we're looking at. When we have multiple lanes going across, we want to make sure that everybody is protected. So we're going to be building a pedestrian refuge here so that people can walk across, like 5 or 6 lanes of traffic. We'll have the same lights on both sides and the flashers and everything to keep people safe.
Looking good.
It is, it's looking really good. I'm excited. So what is our service plan? Right now, we have 2 corridors that we're talking about, Cleveland Avenue and Metropolitan Parkway. For Cleveland Avenue, we're going to start at East Point train station. Go Point, nothing like the Point. And we're going to end up at Jonesboro Road. 78 route service is going to stay in place. I want to stress that it's staying in place. We're going to be servicing the Kroger, the Walmart, Wellstar, the Roselle Fan Rec Center, and the Cleveland Avenue Library. Similar to that on Cleveland, we have the Metropolitan Parkway ART. It's going to start at West End Station and end at Springdale Road. We have service going to Kroger, Walmart, the technical and state colleges, the Met, the Atlanta Beltline, and the Metropolitan Library. There's other stops along the way. Those are just the big highlighted ones. So this next slide shows how these 2 corridors interconnect. Of course, they're perpendicular to each other, so we're trying to get some economy of scale and build this out together at the same time. So the yellow here is the Metropolitan north to south, and the blue is the Cleveland Avenue west to east. Next slide. So we do have a lot of maps that you'll be able to get after this call, after the meeting. We have some of them posted up here for people, the residents that are here. I'm just going to go over some of the highlights so that it's easy to understand. There's a lot of different movements going on here, and I want to make sure that we announce that. So I'm starting at the left. We have the East Point MARTA station. The blue 0 is our first stop for ART. The 3 white dots, that's going to be your regular service that's not going away. We're going to move along to the 1 and 2 number blues. Those are both ART stops. The red arrows are going to be local stops that will be combined into the ART stops. They're just so close together, it didn't make sense to have 2 shelters. We're going to share shelters, we're going to share signage, and we're going to make sure that it's very easy to understand whether it's a local bus or the ART bus. So sliding on down Cleveland Avenue, coming to 3 and 4 stops, those are ART stops. This is where the white dots are where there's local stops already. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out the local stop shelter and we're gonna put in the bigger amenity shelter in its place. So we have, on this side, we have East Point, MARTA Station, we have Wellstar. I'm just gonna go through these quickly. This is the second section. We're hitting Walmart, Trinity Towers, Kroger. These are the big highlights. I do want to show, good evening, stops 12 and 13. They're highlighted yellow and blue because they service both of the ART routes. We're going to have them as a transfer type section area. So if you want to hop on to Cleveland from Metro, you can do it here at 12 in front of Walmart. And the same thing, if you want to go from Cleveland to Metro, you can do it at Kroger, and you can just hop around on those two corridors. So the next slide, we're just following down Cleveland Avenue. We've got the Piggly Wiggly. We've got Cleveland Avenue Library. Continuing down, we have the Roselle Fan Center here. I love it. Browns Mill Golf Course, everybody is familiar with that. I do want to take special note that our current routes go around the Browns Mill Golf Course. It takes about 10 to 11 minutes to make that circular route. And what we're planning on doing is a turnaround at the end of Cleveland Avenue. It's a dead end right now. We'll build a turnaround. We're going to pave that road that goes down to it, and this is going to cut our time even faster. We're looking at 8 minutes that we're going to save to go through the turnaround instead of going on the golf course. Really exciting because some of our other routes are going to be able to use this turnaround, and it's going to make everything faster. Next slide, thank you. So this is starting with the Metropolitan Parkway. I'm going to go through this quick as well because you can look at it online or you can look at it around the room here. I want to make sure that it's clear. It gets a little confusing when we put it on paper. So the right side of the paper is north and the left side is south. So it's still going north and south. On this paper, it just looks a little weird because we wanted to get the biggest bang for the buck. So we're starting at the West End station on Metropolitan, and then we're coming around, we'll hit the Met, we're going down to Salvation Army. These circles, dots, all mean the same thing that they did on Cleveland, except for the yellow dots are replacing the blue dots because we're changing from from Cleveland to Metro. We're also gonna be servicing the Atlanta Beltline, Metropolitan Library, the Technical College. We're going to put, as you can see, we're going to put a stop right there in front of the college. We're really excited about being able to get to all of these places and get you there faster. Still going down, we've got the Atlanta Metropolitan College, Metro Fun Center, Crossroads. We just keep on going down. This last slide here, this is the end of the Metropolitan Parkway, and we hit APD Zone 3, and you'll notice that we're back at the Kroger and the Walmart, and Trinity Towers is serviced by Metropolitan as well. One thing to note when you're looking at the maps, this 28 number is also corresponding to the Cleveland Avenue 12. So it's the same stop, it's not different stops, it's just showing how you can connect and do the transition between the two corridors. 25 equals 13 on Cleveland. So now let's talk about the schedule. I think Councilman Lewis said, you don't have anything unless you've got a date. So we've got dates for you. We're here at May 2022. You can see we've done a lot of work. A lot of that work was done by our planning team. That's Marcus Arnold, and he is here with us tonight, so I want to shout out, thank you for getting us this far. So we're going to go through procurement and construction. Our ART services, we plan on getting them started at late 2024, early 2025. So there's your dates. Hold us to it. That's the end of my slides.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jax, for that amazing
Thank you.
presentation. So what we've heard in summary is that we're going to create a service along these corridors that will give us faster service. It will be more frequent. The current existing service would not go away. It's going to have some amazing, thank you for pointing those out, amazing bus stop amenities. And we're also going to make improvements along the corridor to improve safety along that corridor. And this project will be coming to the corridors near you, 2024-25, which is right around the corner. We know time flies when you're having fun or when you're building things. So just pray for good weather and no disruptions in the process, and we'll get something really nice along this corridor. If you want to get more information about this, if you joined late, you can email us at publichearinginfo@itsmarta.com to request a copy of this presentation. This presentation will also live live. I think production crew is going to live on our YouTube. Yep, it's going to live live on our YouTube, so you go back and view it as many times as possible to get your questions answered. And we do have a few people here with us in person, and we may have some questions online. If you're in person, we ask that you raise your hand. I have my phone. I'm not texting while doing this presentation. They're going to send me the questions that we get online, so just know that. If you're online, please use the Q&A box to drop questions, and remember to email us at publichearinginfo@itsmarta.com for questions about this project. And if you have non-project related questions that are service related, please log those with our customer service department at custserve@itsmarta.com. And do we have any questions? Jax, you were so phenomenal. You answered every question they had. Like we stated, this presentation will live on MARTA's YouTube page. All of the contact information will be there, and we have no questions in person or online. So with that, enjoy the rest of your beautiful evening, and thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you. Have a nice night.
Okay. We did have a question come in after we cleared the Zoom. It is from Alan. I think I know this, Alan. How does this project overlap with the bus network redesign? In those meetings, the ridership model proposed by MARTA showed some routes would be as frequent as 10 minutes.
So the network redesign is definitely included in what we're doing. We've worked with that team already. They know where our stops are going to be. So they're taking this information and feeding it back into the network redesign. The 10 minutes every stop, I'm not sure what that would be going through. Maybe it's just because of the area that they'd be covering with the network redesign and other routes that are not covered by Cleveland and Metropolitan.
Thank you for answering that. And just for Alan, I think I know Alan, if this MPUT Alan, shoot me an email, but the network redesign process is still an ongoing process. So we haven't completed that. And as Jack said, these stops are going to be incorporated into that plan, whether it's coverage or the ridership model or a combination of both.
Very good. If there's no other questions, we did want to remind everybody that we're going to be here at Roselle Fan Center Again, on Thursday night, that's the 5th, same bat time, same bat channel, if you're old enough to know what that means, Lord. But anyway, we'll be back here online on Zoom. We'll be here personally at Roselle Fan at 6 o'clock, and we'd love to have you out. Same information will be shared also, so there's no new surprises.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. No more questions, correct? All right.